Hello, Mumbo Jumbo Familia Ango. The same thing that happened yesterday happened to me today again. I was trying to cut off some noise, and I accidentally ended up ending that video. That video is gonna be part one. This is gonna be part two. You know, there are people who have experience in something and are very good at it. There are people who have a degree and credentials and don't know what they're doing. You have to go by people's reputation. You know, fellow the boy has a roofer that's a remarkable man. He cannot speak, and he can hear, but he cannot speak. And fellow says that he was referred to him by Mapopo, his reputation. You know, Mapopo referred him, and it turns out that this man is an excellent roofer, and he has a crew of people who work for him, and they understand them without a problem. They work fast, they work efficiently, they know exactly what they're doing. When he first came and looked at Fellow's house, he sat down with papers and he looked and he measured and he made calculations and told Fellow exactly what it was that he needed to put a roof on his house. You know, I think that at this point, Mara might well consider, you know, reaching out to Fellow and at least being put in contact with that man. Because I don't know that after all the money that has been invested in putting a flat roof on that house, that it's going to be feasible to put a A-frame roof on that building. But something has to be done. You know, most of all, it seems to me, and I'm on the outside looking in, it seems to me that Marwa might be a stubborn man and might insist on throwing a party no matter what. But if in the middle of that party, he has the kind of storm that they had, you know, God help him. And he's already sick. He's already coping with health problems. I'm convinced that he's still coping with demonetization problems. You know, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know, you don't schedule anything that requires people to be outdoors in the middle of rainy season. Or here in the United States, let's say you're back in New York City, you don't schedule anything outdoors where people might end up having to be out in severe cold or in the middle of a blizzard. It's insane to do that. You know, and the difference in between a wise man and a fool is that you can talk to a wise man, and a wise man will be willing to back off and say, you know what, I think I made a mistake. I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to do it at some other point. A fool will be stubborn. It will say, oh, me, I'm the great man. I'm the king of Nyabohansit, the emperor of Magori. You know, just a person with a big ego will make a fool of himself by clinging on to a bad choice. At this point, what Mara needs to do is he needs to cancel that party. It should be obvious to him that by now, that the mechanic, the engineer, as far as competence is concerned, not so much. As far as good advice is concerned, that man has his own agenda. Maybe he knows that he's about to be publicly humiliated, so he's pretending that he's protecting the villagers and everything. All the while we have seen him kissing the ass of Marwa at every given occasion. Suddenly he pulls I.M. Paris aside, and I give that girl credit. She has a quick working mind and everything, but the problems that she's confronting are bigger than her capacity to handle, especially with her limited range of authority. But he catches her and he grills her and he's asking questions, and you know, he's making a fool out of her and indirectly making a fool out of Maura, because whatever she's doing, whatever she's saying, reflects what Mara is saying and is doing. You know, at this point, Marwa needs to understand that that engineer is unreliable and he needs to run him off, which is not going to happen. Marwa is too stubborn to confess that, hey, I made a mistake. You know, but I'm hoping that the people around him will take certain responsibilities off his shoulders and go ahead and either end, you know, postpone the party or something, because if he doesn't postpone that party, nature will postpone it. Okay? You can ignore reactors. You can ignore people that are telling you, hey, have some common sense. This is foolish. But ignore Mother Nature. Ignore Mother Nature and let the rain be coming down the way it was coming down yesterday. And let's see what happens. Okay? Let's see what happens. I have a theory that goes like this. Dante left Kenya for a very simple reason. Well, actually 2 reasons. The first of them being that he knew that Marwa was going to just keep digging him for money and digging him for money, and, you know, it was going to be impossible not to help him because Marwa is very persistent. But the other thing is this. Marwa gifted him a suite of rooms in the villa, which means what? It means that legally speaking, Dante could be considered part owner of that villa. And as part owner of that villa, as a partner, let's say, in that villa, if somebody comes to that party and is injured or becomes sick because of food that they ate, or God forbid, should be trying to cross a raging river to go to a forest,